Man, what am I stinking like a goober schmoober? I literally forgot how any of this stuff stinking even worked. Like my camera and junk. It's only been 2 weeks since I've actually been on this thing. I have learned quite a bit though. Also, what's up? But I literally learned quite a bit in my time of all this. How's it going? Sorry for the 2 weeks. I've been helping a lot of people with moving into their college dorms, right? A lot of family members, mostly, within the 2 weeks, cause you know me, gotta do that. There's just not really been anybody else around, I guess. So, but overall, it's been a pretty good time. I've been driving for hours. But I've been on the road for basically hours on end, man. It's been tough. Getting a lot of food in the process, so I've at least stayed full for a good while. And yeah, it's been pretty fine. Again, a lot of food. And loved it mostly. It's currently raining right now, and I'm not too sure. Like, you know, it's finally starting to rain around here. I'm really happy about that. But yeah, I still remember how the Fire Emblem, you know, game had went and all that. I'm really glad that I do. And whatnot. Shyness is the game that I'm going to be reviewing this time. Uh, it will more than likely be done next week. I have to get the review's already completed, right? The review's already been completed. You know, like I said, like when I released that Parappa the Rapper, it's been just college, all straight 2 weeks, right? So I didn't really catch a break like that. But I've been playing Shyness. You've been seeing my profile on PlayStation. I've been playing Shyness a lot. I know say EA College Foot. No, Shyness. And I already made the review. I can't wait to, you know, record it and then put my footage over it and, you know, show what it do. But it's a very tragic tale, to say the least. But I did at least want to play that for a little bit. I more than likely will show like what games I want to review in the future. I might make that review list a comment section list, meaning that if you have any games that you want me to try or see, then you can simply put it in the comments, like on the Google form or the doc, and I'll be able to look at them and maybe try to get like a poll-esque sort of thing, and then make another poll on the YouTube communities. I've realized about that. My next thing after Shyness might be movie-wise. I still plan on keep going with Boys of Valor, so I plan on making another Boys of Valor part 2. I know. I've been watching a little bit of Boys. I've been trying to like make sure to keep. Man, it's the Volume 2 is worse than Volume 1. Is all I'm trying to say. Hey, Volume 2 worse than Volume 1. I will make sure to make it as informative and funny as possible. I can't wait for that. And for number 2, the game, not the movie, the game that I want to do is Dragon Ball Xenoverse, the first one. I used to know that most Dragon Ball Z, not even like saying like viewers wise, but most Dragon Ball Z vids, a lot of people like watching Dragon Ball Z. I love Dragon Ball Z. I have like just a really straight neuron on Dragon Ball Z. Anytime I think of Dragon Ball Z, it's like a twitch in my stinking body. It just makes me super happy, and I love the show so much. It's just as much as like Sonic the Hedgehog. I love that franchise. I will talk about the comics. Me and a college dude sat down, talked about some comics on Sonic the Hedgehog, Archie comics and all that stuff. Sally the not the squirrel, like a chipmunk. Is she a chipmunk? Not a cat, like a chipmunk. I think she's a chipmunk. I don't know. all I need to know is Fire Emblem Path of Radiance is gonna be done. Alright? If the electricity stays up, if we don't abruptly cut off, hey, we're good. Alright? Now with that being said, let's get over to the other menu, shall we? I can't wait to play this game. Also, Fed Leftovers finally got a Switch too. Me, I'm not getting that Switch too. Dude was telling me that they didn't even put YouTube on there. YouTube, because it's what I say, incompatible. Incompatible? How is? No, the device is not supported, but basically incompatible, which is. Bartholomew, did you hear this, brother? You're telling me we can't watch YouTube? What goofatron made this? All right, let's go over to the stream screen tab. But yeah, nothing's even more worse than whenever you make these stinking reviews and then you realize that your cousins also watch your reviews. So every time whenever you like come home to your grandparents, they're like, yeah, but honestly I would review this game a McDonald's sweet tea out of 10. They literally said that to me and I sat there like, what are you talking? Oh! Cause like they went up to me and just said that immediately and it threw me off so bad. Cause I was like, what are you talking about, man? But that made a whole bunch more sense. You know, I hope one day, sorry for the fogginess in the glasses. One day, I hope that they make a Fire Emblem Heroes, but like a Fire Emblem full collaboration. And what I mean by this is that I really hope that one day that it's like, whenever they make it Fire Emblem, like, how do I say this? I want them to make this game like not a pay to win sort of thing. Like, my problem with Heroes is that Heroes had a right idea in the beginning, you know, keeping skills simple, you know, the Shadooby, right? Everything was nice. Your only probably hard push was maybe like Ike, right? You had your boy Ike. He was like the main legendary, you know. He was pretty good. He was good. He was a good move. Good guy. Radiant Dawn Ike, not young Ike like the one that's in this game. It's Radiant Dawn Ike, which is like years later after, you know, the events of Get the Crown, Save the Town, Mr. Krabs. And I thought that was really cool. Not really cool, but I think he was like the strongest one or something of that caliber, right? But he was still counterable. Like you could still beat him, all that. I know you could team up with him and him and Marth. 4-star, 3 to 4-star Marth. I don't know how to describe him. I think he's got like the grass background behind him, like the forest and all that stuff. But if you use that Marth with that Ike is pretty good. Because that Marth is supposed to stay with Ike at all times. He's basically like, you know in Fire Emblem Awakening, the pair support? That's what he works like. He's supposed to be a pair support type of unit. Which I love that a lot. So Marth can't be running around by himself, what I'm trying to say. He has to be paired up with Ike. Okay. Now, we're getting into the stinking game. We got Ike, Alencia, Reese, Leaf, Mist, Rayson, Warren, Mordecai, Stefan, Tanith, Titania. Some say Titania, right? Ranulf, Jeffrey, Lucia, Bastion, Jill, Soren, Khalil, Largo, and that's it. That's like 19 people. First off, I'm about to stinking not do a hard reset. Dang it, I have to do a hard reset. No Jeffrey, Bastion, Largo. Largo's that big buff dude, and Khalil, they're both like friends. They both basically flatter each other up. They're like, he's like, oh my goodness, you're so pretty. She's like, oh my goodness, you're so handsome. He's like, you're so smart. And same to you. And likewise. And likewise. And I'm like, bro, how about y'all just already make out already? Jeez Louise. Like, jeez Louise, bro. I don't care. It's like, I'm a sage. I'm like, the stinking, what's his face? Soren in the background, chilling as a mage. Eventually, Soren, you'll probably be a sage. But I don't have any Like, why do you have to be a Pegasus Knight? Like, I can't use you. Like her and what's her face, Miss. I can at least work with them because they're what, D and A. You're telling me that she's got an A stat on heals and a D stat on the sword? She's the same as Mist. But Mist had to go through a whole like class upgrade just to get what she wanted. Also, I got my Switch back from my sister when we set her off. So, when I got my Switch, I'm pretty sure you saw like maybe on the Instagram story, but the Switch was dead, so I had to go and charge it, and I left it for the next week where I had to go help her get her moving stuff. So yeah, but what was I gonna say? This is gonna indeed be tough. I remember I left off here because I think I was like really tired from like the first time that we had went out there helping out my cousins and stuff. So now we're back onto here, and I want to see how this goes. We should only have like a few more chapters, and then that'd be it. Will I make a swag view about this? Yes. Yes, I will. Because I think I played too long just to basically say no. I'm going to do the same for, whatchamacallit, I'm gonna do the same for Fire Emblem. I wanted to do it, Three Houses. I wanted to do it during the summer and talk about how that was my 5-year time skip. Like, I played the game like in 2020 and then, or 2021. If you really want to push up your glasses, it was 2020. If you really want to push up your glasses, I got the game in 2020. I was going from the 10th to the 11th grade, and when I was heading out to the 11th grade, I remember one of my front ensemble coaches, front ensemble like xylophone, marimba, chimes, auxiliary, that type of thing. She was telling me about Fire Emblem Three Houses, and I was like, oh yeah, I played a little bit of Fire Emblem. I played on Fire Emblem Heroes in middle school on my iPhone 8 Plus. Don't want to flex or anything. And so, what's his face? So then she was telling me that like she got right before the time skip, like when the war breaks out in the stinking Church of Cerros. She had all of her units like weapons broken, so she couldn't use any of their weapons. So she pretty much got hard stuck right then and there. And I was like, dang. But also, no. Like like looking at it now, I'm thinking, how'd you get hard stuck? Cause in the game, you can't get hard stuck. I know it's like, oh man, I don't want to go and but you can just restart all of it back to the beginning. You even have Divine Pulse where you can just rewind it all the way down to the beginning of the battle. Or, more than likely, you'll have something that you can sell in your... You have something that's expendable that you can sell, like a gem or a something that... You're not gonna... What I'm saying is you're not gonna go into this battle with no money. You will always have money in that game. Made even easier with that game since, you can literally spend a day fighting like this, like one specific enemy, because there's activity points in the game, and depending on how many activity points you have, you can fight a certain battle. So like, if I have 3 activity points and there's a mission that I can do that has 1 sword, it'll use 1 activity point, you know. But there's some missions that you can do that'll take no activity points. So you basically can just get free XP by simply just doing that. And you can just keep fighting them over and over and over again to get money, food, XP, and you can sell all that stuff back. You have expendables that you can use from the back to the back and spin it on the track. This comes from a guy who basically played 300 hours of the game. So yeah, obviously I'm going to probably at least know a bit of decent corners, nooks, and crannies here, right? I'm getting off track on that game. But I've heard from like bigger Fire Emblem YouTubers that like, I mean most people, I wouldn't say most people, but those people don't really usually like the game. I know some people didn't really like the, the whole training aspect, the whole teaching aspect, I mean. Like having a teaching person, all that stuff. And so they went a little bit more traditional where it's like, they fight by using battles. So instead of you learning through the monastery, using your activity points and doing that sort of thing, they just skip the whole monastery thing entirely, and they only get their training through battling. Like in most Fire Emblem games, you get mastery on weapons depending on how many units you kill with said weapon that you have. An example of this is, let's say, Lucia. Lucia is a swords master. She excels in using swords, right? Right. Okay. So the more enemies that she kills while using the weapon that she is, you know, prone to use, you know, the weapon that she is known to use, she's going to get more mastery in that weapon. Like, you know, people like Jeffrey, he loves the lance, and he can also use a bow. So if he, you know, kills more people with a lance or a bow, he's going to get more mastery and more points within said weapon level. And I think that that's really cool, because I love mastery in many games. I love mastery. I love bettering a form and making it even better. That's why I like Dragon Block C when they finally added the mastery system with power forms. So now I can fully master out my Super Saiyan and make it take less ki. Like, I love that. I love that kind of stuff. Now I can't really play Dragon Block 0S. 0S, because 0S's server, its problem is that it has too much going on. And I don't mean too much going on like it's confusing. I mean like it's too many objects being rendered at once on a server with a lot of people and blasts and all this stuff. I'm basically saying that the server is slow because it has too many things that it has to run all at the same time simultaneously on one server while keeping up the connection. It's just too much for it to handle, which makes everything slower, or hits won't register and all this stuff, and I don't like all that. I can't wait for Dragon Block V though. Dragon Block V feels like a game that I really will heavily enjoy a lot. I can't wait for that especially. I think it'll be a really good game. But its problem is that it's taking like a long time. Like I probably heard this game like in 2023 when I was working at like Domino's. And so I'm like, dang man, like this is crazy. Speaking of which, I actually have a video of, I remember like I was being stupid one day, like, oh my goodness, there's nothing going around. And I was like, chop chop people, let's get it, we're burning daylight. And I had said to myself like, that was a reference to Sonic for Hire, when Tails was telling those people that they're burning daylight. And I thought that was pretty funny. But then one of them had saw me and was laughing at the video because they were like, were you recording? I was like, yeah. And then they had checked back on the thing and they were like, okay, that was kind of funny. But the only reason I can remember it was because I was trying to show one of my friends, Fedels, the whatchamacallit, I was showing him that I was playing that he was playing Breath of the Wild. And he's kind of a goober. I mean, he kind of just flails around in the game and then gets upset with the game and then that's it. And so, you know, that's how it be. But in his instance, he was playing the game and I was pretty much telling him about like all the tricks and stuff that you could do with the bomb. I had shown him a clip on where I was able to do the bomb ride, where like you drop where you like jump off a ledge, and then you got to make sure that the bomb is under your foot, but you also got to go into the. So it's like you hold shield, then you jump, then you drop the bomb, but then you also go into the you drop the bomb, and then you go into quick time. So it's like, for me, it's like hold the stick up, ZL and X to jump forward, then L. Immediately after that, like once you jump L, and then R, ZR. So ZLX, left stick up ZLX, L, and then ZR, and then press B, and then switch over to the the square bomb. Drop that as well. Flick over to the circle remote bomb. Blow it up, and then you'll get flown really high up into the sky, but you gotta make sure that the bomb is directly under you. It can't be behind you. It has to be directly under you. So when you jump, you gotta make sure to hurry up and do all the actions. So that way each bomb is like aligned up. So like circle bomb and then square bomb. And then once you're in the air, like let's say this is my chin, this is me. So I lunge up, drop circle, drop square, and then flick back to circle. I'll propel up, and then start going really fast at exhilarating rates, and it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun when you actually get it off. It's like, oh my goodness, it's going so fast. But that's one I know. Another one was like, what, you go to the menu, flick through some menus to remove your shield, and the point case of being is that you're able to like float in the sky. It's stupid. Is it game breaking? Kinda. I mean, yeah, you can just kind of just coast along, but again, there's really nothing much more you can really do. You can't shoot with it. Once you get out of the action, you just fall. So all it really pretty much is just you flying around, which is pretty fun, but you can't control it going left and right. It can only go in one specific direction. So, you know, you got to do what you got to do if you're trying to pull it off. But you also want to make sure that you have height, like on a shrine. So, no, it's not game breaking. You got to at least get some kind of height or a good height advantage in order to pull it off. Not to mention that if it lightnings in the sky, you will get struck. So, you know, for my people in the back. But I was telling them all the good stuff that I liked about BOTW. Let's get into the game. You know what I mean? Sitting over here listening to me ramble on a stinking thing. Titania, I'm gonna make her have like. Why can't I just simply like select whatever? And I mean, it doesn't matter at the end of the day because I'll still get it first and then prioritize, push through. But see, look, okay, we gotta seize this. The stupid idiotic dude named Bertram with Rune Sword. Now RuneScape Rune Sword. I'm gonna say a sword. Sharper than a 2x sword. Can you sway that again? Alright. That's a Lagooz. That's a Lagooz. That's an annoying bologna sandwich. That's a dude. That's a dude. That's a dude. Okay. People. These guys ain't hard, except for this guy. The smash him with the hammer is gonna be kind of tough because they beat people who are knights or paladins, i.e. Titania. She's got that armor on her. She's a knight type miss. She's a mounted knight. Also, Titania can't be evolved because Titania is already, quote unquote, evolved. Like, she's already, like, you know, the best she could be to find her destiny, so, you know, there's that. I'm not gonna go over the character thing, because I think at this point, you know, when we're literally, like, right there at the end of the game, I think you pretty much already know at least how these people go. But somewhere in me, look, okay, Titania's, you know, she's the fortified person. She's the person that can take pretty much all the hits. She's the defense and the offense. She is her, alright? Stefan, he's got good crits. He's a sword master. He can go crazy. He's got good skills, good speeds. His ability called Astro lets him hit 5 straight consecutive times. And that's not with a crit. So in total, if you really do him right, if he gets advantage, like, if he has, if his speed outblitzes yours, he's able to hit you twice, right? But if his ability Astra kicks in, that means this dude can hit you for 7 times in a row. Do you understand how diabolical that is? 7 times? Dude, I thought Raphael doing Raphael Kirsten from Fire Emblem 3 Houses, I thought him doing a 5-piece combo with a 4 to 5-piece combo, depending on if he outblitzed the blitz. I thought that was me. 7, and they're all crits? Not just regular hits, crits, critical damage. You know, more sharper damage due to the percentage ratio. Then we got my boy Morim, who can't turn back from his tiger form. He can, but he's got that thing with he got this thing called Demi Band that lets him, you know, maintain the form at all times. But all of his other abilities are slightly lowered. So meaning this dude should be a little bit stronger, but he's not, due to the fact of the Demi Band. Which, if you ask me in retrospect, these little bits of like minus damage or minus points, it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Why? Because, I mean, like, if you're telling me I could still be this form, but only lose like 1 or 2 points, I definitely will take this. Because he's in a pretty good position anyways. Then we got Leaf. Leith is pretty good. She's nice. She's excellent. She'll immediately go from this form to be one of those beastly forms, i.e., the Lagoose. She'll be a tiger, or in this game's case, a Sphinx. Sphinx cats are mean, by the way. And so, she'll turn to that off rip. She's more of like the me go first, I push off, right? Now you look at the people like, what about Rubenolf, the guy who's also got a tail? He's kind of got a little bit of ways to build up, and then he can go kind of crazy. But then my boy Mordecai, my boy Mordecai is a what you call a break glass in case of emergency kind of type of situation. He is you know, it's like call me Damian Lillard because it's Dame time. That's what it feels like whenever he finally goes into his beast form. His whole main motive, the reason why he doesn't do it off rip, is because, and I quote, he only fights whenever it's necessary. And so that's why it takes him a little bit longer for him to build up. Mordecai good people though, he chill. Leith's obviously, you know, it's not like I like it or anything type of mess, you know, like I hate these people type of mess, but it's like, well, I mean, they're not all that bad, but, I mean, they're okay, that type of thing. So, and Renolf, he's just the goat, like, yeah, he's just chill, you can invite him to the barbecue, you know, he's good people. And there's me, you know, obviously, I don't think Ike needs any explanation, he's that guy. Literally, apparently, he's the best in all of Fire Emblem, they said. Sources, Google. Jeffrey, don't be confused with Sneaking the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. This guy, he's pretty fun. He's basically, you know Roy, the Cooler Roy meme? Basically Oscar, the evolved version of Oscar. And a paladin too. Bastion, imagine being a sage while also being a close combat fighter. That is what I ask. This is like the type of stuff I ask for. He's able to wield knives and also use magic at the same time. He's an okay dude. Now, I mean, I can't really speak for the trees because I haven't really used them like that because I don't really trust mages in this game, mostly because their counterattacks are non-existent. What I mean by this is that in usually other games, like literally any other games, most mages at least have a counterattack. Like in Fire Emblem Awakening, like my boy Ricken, I love Ricken, bro. I love Ricken cool, right? He good people. And Mirabelle, she's pretty smart, but she's also cool too, right? Voiced by Yuri Lothar-Walden, stinking Tara Platt, respectively. Which is also the same people as Makoto Yuki and Mitsuru Kirijo. Wow. Just kind of crazy. Oh, and Spider and Spider-Man and that other girl, I can't remember her name from the PlayStation game. Anyway, and then we got Alencia. She's I mean, I haven't used her yet. This is literally the first time. She actually just became Pegasus Knight, which is I'm very sad. But she's got her own class, like the Fallen Princess of Crimea. She rides a winged steed and fights wielding both swords and staff. I think it's pretty cool. But Mist is like, yeah, well, I can pretty much do the same thing. Mist is Ike's sister. Mist is also cool too. She chilled. She Ike. She's got good stats. Now, sword-wise, she's okay. I mean, it's at least something, so that way she's not just sitting there like, oh my goodness, I can't do anything. Not like I can use my staff and probably at least try to fight back with it. So, you know, there's that. Large